Good morning. Happy Friday. Animals are in full effect today. We are still going for the 3 to 5 minutes. I'm gonna make it today. I'm gonna make it within our time limit. Our newly disciplined time limit today. Time cap. That's what I need somebody to be like, time cap. That would be awesome. Animals are in full effect because it's super, super windy. It's like the Wizard of Oz out here, which makes Louie spaz, then which makes Sweetie Pie spaz. So it's all kinds of fun. But hopefully you guys have had your coffee or have your coffee. Yes, this is the same coffee cup that I've been using all week. It's really what I do because I drink black coffee and it grosses my kids out. I just rinse it out and put it back by the coffee maker every day. It's what I do. So we have a fun one today. First, real quick, hopefully you guys are playing the game with me, and I'll keep posting. So share that with your friends. I am super excited creating this new course, How to Lose Fat Without Tracking, Counting Macros. It's kind of been a long time coming. I'm really excited, but you know that I'm nervous about it. Just, it's kind of putting everything in like the crazy ADD Sarah brain in one spot. So I'm really, really excited to put that together for everyone. So please share it, because the more variety of questions that we get for that course, obviously it's just kind of the more questions you're gonna have answers to when it comes to fat loss. And you guys know how much I hate tracking macros and counting macros. So okay, so share that, and I'll post it in here too. But this is not a public group. This is for people have to click to join, right? So if you share it from my personal page or the Red Phoenix business page, then people will be able to see that post. So okay. Actually, yeah, I'll just share it in here. You guys should be able to share it. But talking about today, are you on a macro coaster? And that actually came from Claudia, had said that to me this week, that she feels like she's been on a macro coaster, which I thought was adorable and totally appropriate. And what is a macro coaster? A macro coaster is essentially when you kind of are like on your game, and then something happens and you're still thinking, I'm gonna be on my game, and then you have company come in from out of town, and then all of a sudden you're not on your game, and then 2 days later you're like, oh, I'm back on my game, right? Macro coaster, right? I'm doing it again. So it's that up and down of kind of being on your plan, whether you're tracking macros, whether you're doing intuitively, right? We all have like that macro coaster experience where things are going awesome, we've got all this momentum, and then, we get sick, right? So another great example, real life example, you get sick. And so when you're sick, you're not going to be you shouldn't even really be worried about eating your macros or eating your plan. When you're sick, you should be eating for what feels good to your body, because you want it to heal, right? You don't really want to eat a whole bunch of crap, but you don't need to be focused on, oh my gosh, I need to stay on my plan. You want to take care of your body so it can heal. So that's a macro coaster. And what do you do when you have that? And so kind of in that conversation, it's kind of like, oh, I feel like I've been on a macro coaster, Well, shift your mindset, right? Because roller coasters are fun, first of all, and they're exciting, right? So being on a macro coaster isn't a bad thing. It's really just your mindset, because you have to kind of accept the fact that life is going to happen. And just like the last time that you were on a roll with your plan, you're going to be getting right back to plan again, right? And if you look at the huge kind of big picture, just because you have an off week this week or an off couple of weeks, take a look at the previous month. Where were you? When you had an off week, because it happens, it's cyclical. maybe a month ago or 2 months ago, you were off your plan for a week, right? So go back to that time that you saw that you were able to get back on track, right? And this is why reflections, and I know I say it all the time, but writing things down, doing journaling, gratitude. I know like we talk about like having that tracking thing, and it's really kind of like your storyboard, having a tracking sheet. But if you jot things down just so that you would know kind of what's going on in your life at that time, then you can kind of be like, oh, that's what it was that got me back on track last month when I was, kind of had to do a little pivot, right? So that's why like journaling and doing your gratitude is so important, because it will help. They always say like making things memorable, right? Making things memorable really makes them stick, and that's also what makes habits stick, right? Making it memorable. So the more you journal and write things down, and this should probably be a whole nother topic, so we can get into this more later, but the more you journal and write things down and just kind of keep reflections or records, whatever you want to call it, the more memorable it's going to be to you. So now you have a tool in your toolkit to be like, oh yeah, 2 months ago when I got sick and I was off plan, this is what helped me like snap back into it, So that's kind of how you can help yourself kind of realign. Just number one, being on a macro coaster is not a negative thing. It's a mindset, right? Roller coasters are fun, so make it fun for yourself. The more fun you're gonna have if you actually keep some kind of reflections or journaling or writing things down, so you can go back to that, revert to it, and be like, oh, I got it now. This is what I did last time. Does it make sense? Okay, good. So the other thing you can do if you feel like you're on a macro coaster is kind of just reset yourself, right? Realign yourself and go back to your brain dump. So you're gonna write everything down, because here's what happens. Usually when we're experiencing like the pitfalls and what we feel like is a negative piece of the macro coaster is we feel out of control, we feel overwhelmed. So usually means there's other things that are happening over here in our life, right? Do your brain dump. Write down everything you need to get done, everything on your mind and your brain, things that maybe it's not even that you need to get done, just stuff that's on your mind, right? Get it all out. Now you're gonna look at that list and you're gonna cross off, there's gonna things you wrote down that are totally irrelevant. Like you're gonna be like, why, that's not my job. If it's not your job, you need to cross that off your list, right? And I know we're going long. I need somebody to yell out, time cap, 3 to 5 minutes. But do your brain dump, eliminate what doesn't, is not important to you. Get yourself organized, right? Get your planner out. When you can get yourself organized, and doing the brain dump is gonna help you with that. We could talk more in detail about what exactly the brain dump entails another time. But if you're on that macro coaster, if you feel like you're always on that macro coaster, turn it into a positive. It's not a negative thing. It's really just a part of life. I don't know like whose life, and all the people that I talk to, even the people who I'm like, wow, they like have got it made. Their life is not just like, woohoo, yeah, whistling along, I'm good. Everybody's life is like this. Everybody's life. They all have different things going on, and it's up and down. That's life. So have fun with it. If you need help, if you have questions, you can message me here or my website, redphoenixnutrition.com. And also share that post asking questions, how to, oh gosh, I have Louis here all over. How to lose body fat without tracking, counting macros. Good morning, Christy. I saw you had some good questions. That's awesome. I'm super excited. The more varied questions we get, the more variety we get, the more detailed kind of answers you're gonna have. Good morning, Lexi. Good morning, Rachel. Rachel, awesome. You had a good question too. Good morning, Nikki. I hope you're feeling better. Nikki's another great example. She's kind of on that roller coaster because her little girl's been sick, and so she's been down and out. You gotta just eat like how it feels good when you're getting sick. Good morning, Lexi. I always call you Lexi. Alexi, my little Greek girl. Good morning, Jessie. Good morning, Jane. Good morning, Beth, who also had really good questions. I'm really excited for that. So thank you guys so much for your help, and have a great weekend. It's Friday. I'll talk to you Monday.